Public Order Emergency Commission documents show the Prime Minister's office was pressuring banks to seize Freedom Convoy assets as early as February 7th, 2022. That's a full week before the invocation of the Emergencies Act. Today, I'll show you those documents.
So you're confirming that accounts have been frozen, both personal and corporate, but you're not releasing the information?
That right there is the Canadian Deputy Prime Minister and the Finance Minister, Chrystia Freeland, cackling like some sort of deranged goblin.
So you're confirming that accounts have been frozen, both personal.
She announced the seizure of bank accounts of people engaged in the single largest human rights demonstration in recent Canadian history. Of course, I'm talking about the Freedom Convoy, the anti-COVID restriction demonstration, which protested peacefully in our nation's capital, Ottawa, for over 3 weeks before the federal government invoked a counterterrorism law called the Emergencies Act to give police and financial institutions extraordinary powers of search, arrest, and asset seizure. All of this took place in February 2022, and the truth continues to trickle out a year later about what the Liberals were saying and doing behind closed doors. And all of this, even though the official examination into the invocation of the Emergencies Act, the Public Order Emergency Commission, has wrapped up and ruled that the federal government was completely justified in using an extraordinary and never before used wartime law to dissipate bouncy castles, street parties, portable hot tubs, and a few too many F. Trudeau flags. What I can tell you now is that the Liberals were musing about seizing bank accounts a full week before they gave themselves the powers to do it without a warrant. Look at this. It's a text exchange between Ben Chin and Tyler Meredith, both advisors in the Prime Minister's office. It mentions how the two were talking to banks and insurance companies after FinTrack told them not to, because there was no sedition or terrorism or money laundering taking place within the Freedom Convoy, regardless of the superheated and completely inaccurate rhetoric of the mainstream media and the Liberals. But I repeat myself. Now, FinTrack, for those of you who don't know, is shorthand for the Financial Transactions and Reports Analysis Center of Canada. It's basically our financial CIA, which has the mandate to detect money laundering and the financing of terrorist activities. Anyway, let's get back to the text exchange from a week before the Emergencies Act suspended banking protections for all Canadian customers. But we are talking with banks and insurance companies about how they can act on their own and what helpful signals we might be able to send. Oh, what helpful signals they might be able to send. That's the Prime Minister's office wanting to get the banks to ban their customers on their own if the Prime Minister's office sent the right subliminal messaging to the banksters to do their bidding. Let's keep going. One thing I should add, from what we hear, most of the banks are actually doing a lot of work already within the terms and conditions of existing account agreements to manage flow of funds if they suspect someone or something. That's the angle we are looking at. So it's clear the banks were telling the Prime Minister's office that they were following the rules and could not treat their customers like terrorists. And obviously, that wasn't good enough. So the Prime Minister's office made sure they suspended the rules. And it makes me wonder what else they could do this for. For Rebel News, I'm Sheila Gunn Reid. Even though the Public Order Commission is over, I continue to go through these documents because I think it is so important to know what the government is saying and doing to its citizens behind closed doors. It's one of the reasons I focus on access to information. If you would like to help fund our access to information investigations, please consider making a donation at rebelinvestigates.com to help offset our filing and research fees.